Welcome back. Some minor technical difficulties here tonight. First things first. This is your standard Arizona beer. Devil's Ale by Santan Brewing Company. Santan Brewing Company is one of the bigger craft brewers down here in the Phoenix area. So Douche has been doing what he does, running around town, trying to fill holes. You know, nothing out of the ordinary. I haven't gotten any copyright claims the last couple of videos, so the music's a little bit louder. Hopefully we can get a couple copyright claims in this time. A couple of videos back I had that Gert Wilden Schoolgirl Report playing in the background, which is German, the soundtrack to German, different German porn movies. And I received a copyright claim on that from the band Swing Out Sister, which makes no sense. But I mean, there's really not much you can do. So today, just vinyl finds, if you can believe it. And I guess I'll get started. First one. Actually, earlier today, I watched Grandma's Handbag is doing his top 100, and this was in the first installment of it. So it's, I guess, double endorsed. Am I endorsing it? Is he? He's endorsing it. It's in his top 100. It's 1991 album. This is a 1992 press of Mercury Rev's debut album, which is called Yourself is Steam. So I think that the very first press from 1991 is just on Mint Films, and then I think what happened is they got picked up by apparently Beggar's Banquet. So Beggar's Banquet version from 1992. I'm trying to get some of the Mercury, trying to fill some holes in the Mercury Rev collection. Some of them are more difficult than others. This one was very cheap. This is only maybe just over $10, $12, I think. And it looks to be in fairly nice shape. When I listen to it, however, there's a little bit of crackling that I find to be a bit annoying in a couple spots. It's not throughout, but it's more than I think that I'm going to be able to tolerate. We'll see. It's a pretty loud record. I may just need to clean it again. But, so if you don't know what this record is like, if you only know later Mercury Rev, where it's more cinematic, cinematic pop psych. This still has some of that cinematic element, but it is more shoegazy. It is louder, aggressive, swirling guitars. It's trippy rock, you know. Chasing a Bee, Coney Island Psycho. I mean, it's a good record. It's a really good record. So this is what it looks like. It's on, if you've ever seen Black, they make vinyl that's black. This one actually came with pretty cool. It came with a little like promo glossy photo of the band at the time. I mean, look at those guys. All right, moving right along. Next is from 1992. Is the all-female punk band from Minneapolis, Babes in Toyland. This is the album Fontanelle. This is a repress. This is one that A couple of videos back, I had shown To Mother, that EP that I found. I mentioned, I think, that I wanted to get this. I wanted to get, or I would prefer to get a UK original, but this is a somewhat recent repress, and it was really cheap. So I decided to get it. You know, it's punk, it's girl punk, and it's kind of commercial, maybe, like they were trying to be commercial, I think. It's on Reprise Records. It's on 180 gram vinyl. We're kind of going down the rabbit hole in this video a little bit. It might be a bit of a tough watch, or a tougher watch, if you will. So the next thing I got here is from 1999. This is a San Francisco, maybe like a garagey pop psych group from San Francisco. Started in the late 90s. The name of the band is Oranger. It's got this really cool cover. The CD release would have looked like this. I have this for the cover. This is the insert that comes with it. If you like that type of thing, late 90s psych, and you haven't heard of this, this is a little bit lesser known. It's worth giving some review. This song, Egg Tooth, like that's maybe a good, like a fairly accessible song to try. The first track on here has a song title that I really like, called Mike Love, Not War. So do with that what you will. Anyway, I really like this. Their follow-up record, Quiet Vibration Land, I think is better. This one is a little more fuzzy, a little rawer, more aggressive in places. It's on white vinyl, and it's on a label called Amazing Grease Records. I think that they initially had self-released this and then wound up, one of the members of Pavement, I can't remember his name, talked them into releasing or re-releasing essentially their album on this label. I don't know if it was his label or if he was somehow affiliated with that Amazing Grease label. Anyway, so speaking of shoegaze, this is a band, I have some of their other albums, and I guess this would be another, like, it's a hole being filled. This is Ringo Death Star. This is from 2015, so this is their most recent. It's called Pure Mood. I had never listened to this at all until I picked this up. It was discounted. If you don't know Ringo Death Star, what's the lead singer? The female singer's name, I know I'm not going to say it because I can't remember which one. Her name must be Alex. It's a female singer. Pretty much on this record you can hear at different points elements of every like classic shoegaze band in some form. It's all presented. Ride, Jesus and Mary Chain, My Bloody Valentine, and on, Lush, and on and on. I discovered this group. They opened for my friend's band in Minneapolis. I think that would have been around the time of their first album, which I believe is 2011. I think after it had to have been before I think that they wound up opening for the Smashing Pumpkins for a stretch. And I think that would have been around that time. So this would have been, I would imagine it was before that. If you've never heard them and you look on YouTube, there's a song called Imagine Hearts. So Ringo Death Star with 2 R's, and then Imagine Hearts. It's My Bloody Valentine. So that's a good place to check them out anyway. This is on Reverb Nation, I think is the name of the label. Again, black vinyl. Next is a band from Athens, Georgia. I would call this instrumental post-rock. I think that they're still loosely active. I think they also self-released something maybe a couple of years ago. This is an EP they released in 2000 called Down the Elements. This is really cheap. Nobody wants this stuff. But it's pretty cool. I like especially like their second full-length release, and I like their first full-length release also. This is on Kindercore Records, again from 2000. There are some, like on this, there's some minimal electronics, and then it's just like heavy guitar, drums, instrumental music. The record that came out after this, they incorporate almost more of a, there's like, I think, and don't quote me on this, but I think there's like more slide guitar and a little more subdued than this. And it comes on this weird black vinyl. I'm definitely getting that copyright claim, that's for sure. So next, we got one that I found used. It's just something that I hadn't picked up that I wanted to get because I'm a fan of Teenage Fan Club, as I've mentioned before. This is their 2016 release called Here. It's on Merge Records. So Teenage Fan Club, if you are, like I think a lot of people are kind of they're in on bandwagon-esque and then they're out. Like if that's where you are, this is not for you. If you followed them and you like their music kind of throughout their career, this is a worthwhile album to check out. So you still have really great songwriting, the traditional power pop that they do. This is, it's just a little more mellow maybe overall. Still get the great harmonies and everything going on. So I was happy to get a really nice, clean copy of this very cheaply. It is also the, clear vinyl. It's the clear vinyl edition that you can see through. So I guess that also falls into the filling holes category. And as does this one. Some videos back I mentioned, or when I showed the 2 new XTC reissues, that I was trying to complete that vinyl collection. And I gave it some review. I think I'm still, I thought that I only needed a couple. I think I still actually need 3, and I got another one here. I do have the 2 Dukes of the Stratosphere records, and then, one of them that I'm missing is None Such, which could be a tall order unless they decide to reissue that. I mean, I figure that they will reissue it. But anyway, this is their first record. White Music, which is one that I didn't have. It's not one of my favorite. I was trying to think, like, is it my least favorite? I like it. It's post-punk. It's a little, it's a different sound. It's from 1978. It has This Is Pop on it and the Statue of Liberty. I think the Statue of Liberty song was banned by the BBC or something like that. Anyway, this is a US original on Virgin Records. It has this Virgin International label. I'm really having a hard time with the light in here. I tried doing some different things and I have a feeling it's still not going to be great. The last few are also clearance items. So these are reissues that they were too cheap to kind of pass up, digging through stuff. So this is a 1967 album. This is releases a double LP where one LP is in the full record in stereo and the other one is the full one in mono. So this is the Hollies Evolution. This is an old favorite. Well, old favorite. One that I used to listen to on CD for a while. Is that a favorite? I'll call it an old favorite. So, there are some corny lyrics, but it's 1967 pop psych or psych pop, however you want to refer to it. And I really enjoy it. It's kind of in my wheelhouse. But there's some cornball stuff on there. They come on the reproduced Parlophone. I'm not going to take these out of the plastic. They just say one's mono, one's stereo. Recreated Parlophone labels. If you're familiar with the stereo mix on that record, it's very I don't know what's the right term. The instruments are all over here and the vocals are all over here on a lot of the tracks. And so the mono, like when you listen to a record like that in stereo, I think you realize why some people really prefer the mono recordings of this era of releases. Next one is also the Hollies. It's also 1967. It's also a double LP set with one complete stereo album and one complete mono album. It's Butterfly. I believe this is the last Hollies record that has Graham Nash on it. I'm no expert though. But this is kind of nice. It's got the flip backs. It's glossy and the flip back. It's not bad. It's cheap. So this, falls into the same category. You're dealing with pop psych, 1967. Some corny stuff, like you got Pegasus. It's a little corny, but I like it. This was not released like this in the US. I think this was Dear Eloise, King Midas in reverse. That would have been the US release of this. I usually prefer, well, not always, but I usually prefer the UK. Anyway, again, same thing here. Parlophone, stereo, mono. This is 2 records. High quality vinyl. Last one is another clearance find of this one is actually from a record store day, and I don't think it's even that old. I think it was last year in April's record store day. It's a 1968 album by the experimental pop psych group the United States of America. So Joseph Byrd, a lot of people know this record. A lot of people show this record. I think that it was discounted a little bit because there's just a little bit of cruft on the bottom of the cover. But anyway, this is the mono reissue Sundays. I had the, I had an original stereo that I didn't want because it was a little noisy for me. It didn't look like it was in bad condition, but it was a little bit noisy. So anyway, I'm glad to have this, so I have a nice mono version to listen to. And it was not expensive. You can see it's on clear vinyl. That's very common these days. Black vinyl is, you never see that stuff. This is on a faux white label promo mono label. So that's kind of cool. All right, that's all for today, folks. I'd really like to thank you for watching, spending some valuable time out of your day to slog through these records. I think that I'm going to try doing a little different series outside of the vinyl finds that I will also do periodically. I think I'm going to do something I'm going to call LPs Revisited, which is going to be where I listen to and then in the video show things that either I haven't listened to in a long time, or maybe, sometimes you get stuff, you listen to it once, you put it on the shelf, and then who knows when you come back to it. I kind of this year want to revisit some of that stuff that's just sitting on the shelves. And it might be an interesting video. I mean, it's not going to be any different than this video. So we'll see. Again, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good weekend.